what happens is it's this bonkers like drug cop movie until Predator shows up. And then Danny Glover starts noticing all these things at the crimes, and so does his task force. And then one of his task force gets killed, so now he has a personal vendetta against the Predator. Hello, welcome to Blockbuster Review. If you don't know what that is where I play a single game of Tetris Marathon and try to review a film while playing a game until the blocks reach the top or until 150 lines. Spoilers are at line 50, and for this one specifically, I want to mention spoilers for the franchise that this movie is in as well. So Predator 2 is the sequel to the original Predator. It's also one of the entries in the Predator franchise that shares the film Prey. Now, recently, I say recently, but it was actually a little while ago, I just wasn't able to record then, Predator had a resurgence with a film called Prey that was, for lack of a better word, fucking awesome. And I had only ever seen Predator 1, so I was like, maybe I should get back in to all the Predator goodness that is available to me. And Hulu provided with all of the Predators except for the reboot that just has the name Predator. That's very confusing. That has terrible reviews, so I'm kind of happy about that. Anyway, Predator 2 has Danny Glover as the head of what looks like a drug task force in the middle of Los Angeles in the late 80s, early 90s. And it makes Los Angeles look straight out of fucking Mad Max. Now, I lived near Los Angeles. I'm not going to say I lived in Los Angeles proper, but I did live near Los Angeles at the time this movie was made. And it is a cartoonishly ridiculous version of Los Angeles, which made the movie even more fun. Now, this Danny Glover character, whose character name I completely forgot, he is trying his darndest to quell a impending drug war between El Scorpio, which I believe is some Latin drug lord, and the Jamaican Kings, who believe in voodoo. Now, it's so delightful. This movie is absolutely ridiculous. I had no idea that after I saw Prey, which I thought was a pretty like reserved, contemplative, awesome action movie that really kind of was a shot of creativity and awesomeness to this idea of the Predator universe, which made me excited to watch other Predator movies. I was so shocked this is even in the same world, because Predator 2 is a bonkers. It is absolutely next level. The characters are hilarious. Like, even the police station that they go into throughout the movie is like the police station from Last Action Hero. It is like it is a joke police station. Like, you half expect cartoon characters to come out of rooms. Every single time he goes in there, he's being yelled at by a boss about his methods. It's hilarious. It's also Danny Glover, like, basically playing his character from Lethal Weapon, or I thought for half a second his same character from the first Saw movie. And I was like, this would explain why he is so weird and grizzled by the time we get to Saw. So what happens is it's this bonkers like drug cop movie until Predator shows up. And then Danny Glover starts noticing all these things at the crimes, and so does his task force. And then one of his task force gets killed, so now he has a personal vendetta against the Predator. So then he has to go against the Predator, and eventually it culminates in this big, like, knockout, drag-out fight that's very long and very satisfying through the streets of LA, where other human beings are, where there's just this absolutely magical fight between this man and this this alien. Also giving us a powerhouse performance, Gary Wildman Busey as like the head of this secret, it doesn't, I don't know if they say FBI or CIA, but he's clearly, Disney Plus is updating, which is where you can watch Prey if you don't live in America. Anyway, the point is, as I get distracted by that on my PlayStation, the point being, Gary Busey is this guy in the darkness, the shadowy nonsense, where there's like, are you actually looking for like a way to help us on this drug issue, or are you looking for something else? He's looking for something else. He's looking for that alien tech, baby. And he is the one that brings in the original story of the Predator, which, if you don't remember, had nothing to do with like drug lords and intense shootouts in the middle of Los Angeles streets. It had to deal with like a group of mercenaries who were called in to like save somebody in the middle of Colombia, and then the Predator showed up and started murdering folks. That movie's also rad, but for completely different reasons. And so is Prey, and that's kind of what the message of this review is. The Predator franchise, which I have to admit, I don't really like Predators with Adrian Brody and Eric Foreman from that 70s show. But I do really, really, really enjoy the other Predator movies. I haven't seen the Predator that was the reboot that has the same title as the original Predator, which is confusing and annoying. But I love what they do with this series. It's a story that has nothing to do with the Predator. In Prey, quick spoiler, it's about a woman trying to show her tribe that she can be a hunter, that she can master these things that usually men master, and then eventually she does by defeating the Predator. And then this one is really about Danny Glover, like, scrapping it out with these drug lords, and then he comes across this Predator that he thought was just another criminal that did his partner dirty, or his fellow cop dirty. And then it turns out to be this otherworldly thing, and then he adjusts, and then he kicks some ass. And I loved it. I love this movie. I think it's a great movie for, like, bad, stupid movie night. I think getting around with some friends and, you know, enjoying some alcohol or recreational marijuana, depending on your state or legalization issues. It's a great movie, and it's also like it's a fun kind of bonkers. Where, like, especially if you if you knew anything about Los Angeles at the time, we're like, was it like that? And was I just not paying attention? Because this is hilarious. I think I would have remembered the news mentioning a firefight like this. I think they would have talked about these Jamaican king gangs that did voodoo rituals after they kill big-time drug dealers and rival gangs. Like, it's so funny and so ridiculous. Also, the performances are hilarious. Like, Danny Glover is somehow muted while also in this bonkers-ass movie. Same with Gary Busey. And also, oh my gosh, I'm going to mess up his name because of the Bill Pullman, Bill Paxton. Bill Paxton's in it? I have no idea why he's even there. It seems like he's supposed to be like the young hotshot guy that eventually proves himself, which he kind of has that kind of arc, but he also doesn't really do much of anything. But he's in it, and it's a dope movie. Predator 2. It's on Hulu currently with Prey and other Predator movies. It helped me become a Predator fan, and maybe it'll do the same for you.